What is up, guys? And in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I think probably a month or so. It's not that long. But first up, congrats to Red Team XO for 1K subscribers. This is coming out a little bit after he hit 1,000 subscribers. And I have a lot of plans for the series, so let's get started. Also, I would like to say congrats to Augusto as well for hitting 2K, and many other YouTubers have hit subscriber milestones. But I have many plans for this series, as I have just this one big plan. So, we have an idea. I'm going to steal this idea from Upgraded Bros, so thanks for giving me this idea. And so, boom, we will see civilization will pop out over here in these French territories, where we will see groups of people will go ahead and just say, yeah, we want to be a nation. So we see they will mainly be focusing around the coast, eventually making it to like Normandy, and we'll also start to go more inland. As we see, just like in real life, I want to make this as realistic as possible, so we will actually see groups of people around the world will start to like form their own nations, because in real life it wasn't only Mesopotamia who started their own nation. China had like a nation, the Indus Valley. They didn't even know like this territory existed. These guys don't know this exists. As we will see, this Greek nation, well, these Greek peoples will start to explore rapidly. So civilization also won't have one starting place, it'll have many. As we see, these peoples will going to make it to the Italian peninsula, thinking that this is just like the only water, and there will be more land up here. We will also see the creation of our first nation. This is going to be the creation of our red team, establishing themselves before France. And so, boom, the red team has been established. Also, forming up within these northern areas over here. As after that, we will immediately see France will form their country. Well, a very divided France. Just like in real life, France is going to be a very much Chinese nation, as France can never stay fully unified. As we will see immediately after this one nation forms, it will split into many pieces, with Normandy quickly seeing their independence as a yellow nation, and basically these guys just split up, forming some new nations, as we will even see capital cities will be born. So it's going to make a layer for that. So boom, capital cities. Theirs is going to be placed over here, theirs will be placed up in the north, and theirs is going to be placed right there. Greece's capital will be placed over here near this coast, as we will see some more exploration will be happening by the Greeks, exploring this entire area, as well as starting to explore more of the Aegean Sea. They will come to the Italian peninsula and explore the coast, and will make it to Sicily, quickly discovering Sicily being the first major island over here to be discovered. Now, they do think this area is an island, like this is cut off over here, but they would be false with that. But we do see many explorers will come over here to this peninsula, as well as these guys will go in and discover Crete pretty quickly. As we will see, they will go in and meet up with the island of Rhodes, and then the Anatolian peninsula will go ahead and be discovered. Now, yes, this is a peninsula because there's water, water, and water. So, yeah, it's going to be a peninsula. Over here, coming down this coast, we will see they will meet up with the Syrian areas, as we see another nation around the world will form. This is going to be over here in Arabia, being like an Oman nation, where we see I have a plan for the Arabian Peninsula within the future, and this area might be the first to be fully discovered within the next few episodes. This series is only going to be 70 episodes long, just like the last one. But then we will immediately see the formation of another nation, being some Greek explorers. If we go and activate the rivers, some Greek explorers will come over here to the Tigris and Euphrates rivers and would go ahead and establish the first Mesopotamian republic. As we will see, these guys would be, of course, Mesopotamia, forming themselves within little pockets over here, firstly forming within two different areas. So boom, the formation of that. This is very much brighter than I thought it would be. But then after that, we will see the French will go ahead. I did that on the wrong layer. That's why. Where we will see the French will go ahead and do some more exploration. As we see, there are mountains over here, so they will go around and they will meet up with the Mediterranean. So the southern French nation is becoming probably the strongest out of all of these, as they will go ahead and get super close to meeting up with the Greeks, who the Greeks have even discovered the Black Sea now, the Bosphorus Strait, and Istanbul have all been established. So you'll see they go along the northern Anatolian coast, and then this coast, eventually discovering the entire Aegean Sea. And the Greeks have become a pretty powerful nation. Now, this is going to be I'm going to try to make this as realistic as possible. So we see the Greeks will go ahead and send out a lot of explorers, firstly claiming a lot of these northern lands over here, going up to Albania, as well as the Thessaloniki areas, claiming over this island. It's not necessarily an island, I mean it is split there. And going ahead and setting up many areas for, I think you know, where they will actually set up a little colony within Sicily, many of them spreading their ethnicity and religion along Italy, as well as claiming over Crete, as well as setting up little colonies where people can live within many of these areas, setting over here in like Syria, southern Anatolia, northern Anatolia, as well as within Istanbul, also controlling the Bosphorus, which, these areas are not that vital right now, as you can't really do anything with them. But we do see the Greeks have basically fully controlled, probably at this point, the Mediterranean. Now we do see some Greek explorers will go ahead and come across here and will meet up with Africa, which, just like in real life, they do call just Libya. That's where Libya got its name. And going back to the rivers, we will see they will meet up over here with the Nile, and we'll start to explore it. As we see, these guys will also go ahead and meet up with the Greeks, and the exploration down here will meet up with the Gulf over here, and another nation will form somewhere else. This will be down here in South India, which will then quickly cross over to Sri Lanka. But this South Indian nation will become very vital in the future, but not right now, as it's not that very much needed. But now, if we come back over here, we will see Mesopotamia will do some more expansion, mostly going down south. I don't understand what the as over here, Mesopotamia would do their expansion, and the Greeks will set up more proxy colonies. Well, that's not the right wording. But we do see the Greeks would go ahead and will see themselves claiming over a lot of the Nile River Delta, setting up a pretty small one, and many small ones over here, just like Greece in real life, as we see the Southern French, or the Purple French, will start to claim over a lot more territory. As we will see, these Greek borders look absolutely ugly. But we do see the creation of the Southern Indian nation, setting themselves up right here. As we even see two nations over here within Oman, being this Oman nation around the coast, and the UAE nation being over here within like Dubai. We can finally see more capitals, such as theirs being right here, and theirs being over here in the north. South India's will be placed right there, and Mesopotamia's is going to be right there in the south. But we do actually see another split of France. Normandy and these two will actually decide to unite underneath one nation, and then right after, immediately split, creating even more nations. Such as this one. Each of these guys, well, these guys will split into like 3 different nations. We'll just see many nations over here. The largest southern one that will form itself, and another one forming itself right here. So France is going to be very split now. Capital cities, of course, are going to be placed. As we will then see, Greece will find themselves seeing a colony declare their independence, this becoming the blue team, which will actually form over here in Egypt, with Egypt fully declaring their independence away from the Greeks, placing their capital over here in the north. We will see the Greeks seeing them define the orders. The Greeks will go in and go down this coast, immediately linking up with those guys, and starting to explore this area, quickly discovering Cyprus, and just over here, the main goal, as Egypt will actually surprisingly work together with Greece, just for now, well, the explorers, not the actual leaders. We will see these guys will eventually discover the rest of this territory, which does open up a bigger trading system between these two, as well as the discovering of the full Sinai Peninsula, and more discovering of the Arabian Peninsula. And over here, we're going to be mainly focusing on the Greeks, mainly for the rest of this episode. As we see these guys, we're going to meet over here with this area. But we do see another area is going to be discovered. I've said area way too much today. We will actually see this would be on an entire different continent. This being our first in probably 3 North American nations. We will see the creation of the first Ohio nation. We will see the creation of Superior. Well, they're not full nations. It's basically just groups of tribes. And New York will go ahead and rise up. So boom, North America will have basically their first nations. Over here, these guys will start to go down the Nile more, as well as down the coast over here of the Red Sea. And over here, they will start to discover Libya even more. Also, if you guys want to create fictional names for these, go ahead and do it in the comments below. And eventually, these guys will link up, and another area is completely split off, where we will see much of the Mediterranean is going to be discovered. Now, if you think this is much fast-paced, this is because episodes, it's going to be like a combination of like episodes 1 and 2, but the next one will still be named episode 2. This is going to be as long as like 2 episodes, so this video will probably be about 25 minutes. And I've only been filming for about 15, so I have about another 10 minutes to film. But over here, the French will go down these coasts over here, the Catalonian coast, they will go down, as well as this coast over here. And the Greeks would go ahead and will link up with the French, setting up the first trading areas, and will discover the full Adriatic. As we will see, the Greeks have come a long way, definitely. Now over here they also start to do some more exploration on these coasts, and we'll stop when they get to the Caucasus Mountains, but we'll go more over here in Romania. And the Greeks will witness another one of their colonies breaking away, this going to be the Northern Anatolian. These guys will break away wanting to form their own Anatolian nation, as, the Greeks aren't mainly focusing on Anatolia, so they will form their own nation, and Anatolia is starting to be more discovered, as the Greeks don't want their Anatolian colonies to break away. And over here, we will see the Greeks working on their own. Sorry, I'm not that good at speaking my own language. We will see it will be much harder for them to discover this area. Well, eventually they will cut off this area, discovering it, as we start to see the Greeks eventually just mainly decide to stop, as there's no islands over here, and their boats can't reach that far, so there's going to be a huge spot in the middle. But over here, we see these guys will go more along the Libyan coast. That's what they're going to call it, and that's what I'm going to call it for now. And over here, they will meet up with these French explorers, splitting off this area now. Also meeting up, finally, with the Atlantic Ocean. The Greeks now know that there is a huge ocean over here, and that the purple French nation, Yep. And now, because in Aegis Pros Pixel, he had the Daily Britain update, we're going to have the Daily France update. And so here's going to be my Daily France update. Now, you think I might have done it earlier? No, I didn't. Really, just for this, there's no wars, but we do see eventually a start of a war will happen pretty soon. We will see the French will go ahead and will cross these mountains, and now the French will go ahead and claim over these areas, coming over here to the Catalonian, as we see the southern French nation, these two will go to war. Now, don't think that these guys are not that strong because of their size. These guys are still pretty strong. But now the southern French are even stronger, and they will go in and just do some land trades, eventually deciding on doing the land trades, as they're more ethnically theirs. Now, this shape I hate, but we're going to have to live with it. As we will see the Greeks will actually lose some explored land. This will be over here in Romania, as the Greeks will go and back out of their peoples over here, losing that land. As well as these guys will lose all connection with Sri Lanka. And they will also lose connection over here with Lisbon and Portugal, as many people are moving out of these areas, as they're not that very good to live in. But now we do see the Greeks do some more expansion. This would be within the Italian areas, fully claiming over Italy, and claiming over Cyprus, becoming an economic powerhouse, and the Egyptians will be immediately threatening in on the power of, the Greeks, as the Egyptians will go up this coast over here, as we see the Greeks are going to be extremely mad because of this, as the Greeks want to become their own powerhouse over here, and the Greeks, seeing this, will go ahead and set up more colonies along the coast over here, claiming over the Strait of Gibraltar as well, where a lot of ships are passing through at this point. As we will see, just many claims are going to be happening. As we will also see the linking up of their colonies over here. And this area linking up finally. As even the Anatolians, I'll just call them the Anatolians, they will do some claiming of land, claiming over the northern areas here. As we will see, now a war starts. This will be what is known as the War for the Mediterranean. A new Mediterranean nation has set themselves up. This is going to be forming within Corsica and Sardinia, as well as the Italian and Venetian areas. With the rest of the Mediterranean finally being discovered, this area will be discovered. And then this area is going to be fully discovered. Now you may think it's going too fast. It's my series. If you want to stop watching it, you could. I have some big plans for the future. And if you're a real one, you would stay. As the Mediterranean, we will see another huge Mediterranean empire will form. This will be known as the Mediterranean Empire. If I could find a good color for dark blue. That is the wrong layer. Over here in Sardinia, Corsica, the Balearic Islands, and northern Algeria, we will see the formation of the first Mediterranean Empire, having many colonies just like these guys, setting over here within Tunisia, and will immediately claim over. I swear I just heard a boom. And even meeting up with the French and the Greeks over here, quickly establishing themselves as the Mediterranean Empire, placing their capital over here in Sardinia, where we will see the Greeks and these two immediately go to war as their claims meet up within Italy, and the Greeks will meet up with their claims over here. We will see the start of the First Mediterranean War, seeing immediately some alliances forming. This will be the Rectangle Alliance will be the first of these alliances to form. This being the Mediterranean Empire forming an alliance with Egypt. These guys both hate them, and these guys, Anatolia, they will also join in on the alliance. Greece also has their own weapon, forming the Circle Alliance. This will be established between Greece, Mesopotamia, and the most surprising of all, the French, where we will see the start of this war, which will be a multi-episode war. We will see Greek forces will be the first to march in over here, marching straight into the Italian territories, with just the main goal of capturing Italy and this area, which does quickly fall over to them, leaving to the Greeks to have more landings over here, as well as quickly capture this trading colony. Now the Greeks barely have protection of this territory right here, which will lead to their territory being captured pretty quickly by these guys, as well as their western territory over here, seeing that territory quickly falling over to these guys. We will see the Greeks are starting to struggle. The Greeks are also struggling when these guys will quickly capture Cyprus and will split off their Syrian territories from the rest of their territory, quickly leaving this area to fall. Also seeing the capturing of their two earliest African territories, we will see the Greeks will immediately link up with Anatolia and will immediately send their forces straight in, also quickly occupying and being the first nation to quickly fall. And as of now, it is probably around the year 1800 BC, as the Mediterranean is becoming extremely powerful, as we see the Greeks will capture their Adriatic coast, eventually forcing Italy to surrender over to these guys. Also seeing this territory to start to be recaptured, eventually seeing the recapturing of it, the Algerian territory quickly falls, and basically these two have an idea. France wants to help out Greece, but France does not have the naval power to do that. They don't have that powerful boats. But now it's literally only left up to these islands over here. But these guys are the strongest naval power so far. They will make a re-landing over here in Italy, recapturing the Balearic and kicking these guys back out. And recapturing their territories over here. We will see a break from this war, as we see Greece will probably be focused on maybe about 3 more times. But we will see the 3 final events of today's video. We will see Mesopotamia, who's not necessarily fighting in the war, will go ahead and link up with these guys. Now, they do know they existed before this, but we do see they would cross the Strait of Hormuz, and the Persian Gulf will be made. That is the first of the final 3 events. We also see the next event is a new nation forming, this being over in these areas within China and Korea. A new group of people will go ahead and will rise up. Just like in real life, China's always going to be split, but we do see really nothing so far within China. But we will see the final event will be something happening with the war over here. The Greeks will see a rebellion. This will be the Great Rebellion of Sicily, as well as Italy, where we will see that will end it off for today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't mind my English. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. So far, we are at 91 subs. It would be a blessing if we can hit 100. Once again, congrats to Red Team Wixo for hitting 1K subscribers. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, peace out. Bye-bye. Hi. Hello. I just finished recording this video. It's... Boom. Sorry, I'm not used to using the camera. I just finished filming that. It's about a day later or so, and sorry for the poor editing on it. I was not intending to edit it right now. I'm home right now. I'm supposed to be in school, technically, but I got it off. But yeah, sorry for the poor editing. I have nothing else to say. I did this just to say sorry for the poor editing. Oh, well, bye.